Good morning, Tallahassee. It's time to wake up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Here's WarChant.com's Aslan Hajavandi and Corey Clark.
Welcome on into the show! Friday edition of Wake Up War Chant. We're in Charlotte. We are at the Westin Hotel, headquarters of ACC Kickoff, at least as we record this for you folks. Hope you're having a great Friday. I'm Aslan. Corey is here as well. Corey, hello.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Great day out of you on Thursday. I was really proud of all the content you
Yeah, I felt like I owed it to War Chant for the last few months. Kind of just been cruising. So, yeah, I actually had to do a lot of work on Thursday. But it was fun. It was good. We got to talk to the Florida State players, some other players from around the ACC.
Golly.
Willie Taggart, head coach Willie Taggart. So, yeah, we got a lot accomplished. A lot of that's going to be on warchant.com. So when you get a chance, visit the site. Obviously, if you're not a subscriber, that's dumb, and you need to be. Yeah. And if you are a subscriber, then you know you're not dumb. Right. So you've probably already seen a lot of it.
What day was Brady born?
What day? Like the day of the week?
Just the date.
Oh, the 20th of June?
Okay.
It's a better question what day it was. I feel like it was definitely a weekday, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah. Thursday, July 19th, I think might have been the day I fell for Willie Taggart.
Oh, okay. Good. Finally. Hook, line, and sinker. You're all aboard now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Good. Was it because he sat down with us?
Yeah.
Well, that was nice of him, wasn't it?
He didn't have to do it.
He didn't have to?
He didn't.
He wasn't being cajoled to by anyone, but he saw us here and decided to sit down with us, which was nice.
He had every opportunity to turn around and leave and go.
He did. He absolutely did.
Like every woman in my life, but he decided to stay, turn around, and come back and sit down and talk to me.
Like every woman in my life.
Yeah. Tough for you.
I know.
So we're going to uncork the entire full. I mean, we got about like 10 minutes with him, too, wasn't it?
Yeah. 10 minutes of him, just the three of us talking, and then maybe just a little more than that, I feel like. We'll make it if we try.
Just the three.
And then we also got 40 minutes of him in the interview session, the video, right? You had the camera right in front of him, so 40 minutes of that.
Apologies. I guess apparently I had it on too loud. Some people said that I hurt their ears and their headphones. It's just he speaks so softly. I just figured I'd err on the side of caution. Just crank it up really loud. But and a couple other people that were complaining about the quality of video. Like, hey, guys, it's video. We're trying. It's very the files are big. I'm going to stop talking about that anyhow.
Right, yeah.
But Willie was here, sat down with us. Brian Burns sat down and talked with us. Cam Akers sat down and talked with us. We'll kind of maybe summarize some of the things from Cam and Brian, but we'll lay out the entire Willie Taggart thing here at the end of the podcast.
But what do you feel like the headline was? You already know what I wrote my column about, but what do you feel like the headline was from the day, from the Florida State guys?
This is the thing. I think I'm good at my job, man. I really do. But then the one thing that he didn't even – he said yes to a question about is DeAndre Francois 100%. He said yes. That was it. He just said yes. He didn't say, oh, yeah, looking great, or yep, he's doing really good.
Yeah.
He just said, some lady asked him, is DeAndre Francois 100%? He said yes. That deserves its own thread on the Tribal Council on warchant.com. And I guess that's the headline. And to me – I don't know. I mean, I think the headline to me is he gets it. And I know that sounds so like vague. What I mean is he's shown the ability over the course of his career to adapt his system to his players. I just think his interpersonal skills. Coaches come to places and they take over. Jimbo's in College Station. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you hired. This is what you're going to get. I think Willie came here and sat down and, had some introspection. Sat down, weighed things, factored in what does this team need? Why are they this way? Why were they doing this?
Right.
And he thoughtfully sat down and answered every single question that gave insight into how much he has confidence, it seems like now, or his confidence is growing in DeAndre Francois, not just because of his health, but the way he's doing things off the field. That to me is the bigger thing. You get a real grasp of the fact that this isn't just some guy who got a job because things lined up well for him. It's because he does have a vision. He does have a way about him, and I'm finally starting to see that.
Yeah, so I thought the most telling thing about Thursday in our interviews with the players was both Cam Akers and Brian Burns talked about just the difference in accountability. And, we always hear the things in the summer about how this team's closer than ever and we're always close, and you roll your eyes with it anytime somebody says, oh, we're much better than last year and this or that. But they were so pointed in the way they talked. And nobody came out and criticized Jimbo by name, obviously. Willie didn't either. But, Cam Akers was asked, they were talking about missing summer workouts, and the punishment, I guess, if you're late to a summer workout now, is you have to get up at pre-dawn and shove 45-pound plates 20 yards.
Like on a sled.
For 20 times at least in a certain amount of time where you have to keep doing it. So that's a severe punishment. That's not fun to get up and do that. Well, Cam Akers was asked, well, what was the punishment last year if you missed? And he laughed, like literally laughed.
Really?
Yep. Brian Burns said it's good to have where you feel accountable now. There's a system in place where guys are being held accountable. There's law. It's like law, I guess.
Is Willie Taggart the law and order candidate?
Apparently, I guess, right? He's supposed to be the fun guy. But, we talked, and we'll play the Brian Burns interview that we did with him at some point in the near future. But we asked him about that. And players like that, man. I think that's a misconception that people have about players, that they want to get away with everything. They want to cut corners. And I think genuinely they will get away with whatever you allow them to get away with, but most players really want that guidance, and they want the rule. They want to know, they want strict guidelines and strict rules, and they want the people that break the rules to be held accountable. That's what team building can be, is when you see a guy that continually half-asses it, but suffers no repercussions, whether he shows up late, doesn't show up at all, doesn't go to class, he doesn't suffer any punishment, well, that can cripple a team and a program, I think. Just the mindset of, okay, well, Joe's just getting away with whatever he wants.
What if you write a note saying that you promise you'll never do it again?
Exactly. Then you're fine, right?
Okay.
Then you're fine. So, I thought that was really telling that both Brian Burns and Cam Akers both mentioned that, and both said how much more accountability there is and how much more discipline there is. Like Willie's not taking any guff from these guys. He's fun, and he does it. He's obviously got a nice personality and a big personality. Seems genuine. And he plays the music at practices, but he's not going to let them – he's not a player's coach in the sense that they can walk all over him. It seems like the previous guy, at the end, for whatever reason, had just let it all go. There was no academic responsibility. They weren't held to any standard there. They were embarrassingly bad in the classroom. And obviously, they apparently they could just not show up for summer workouts
even
and not suffer any repercussions.
Even being a good human being is something that Willie's imparting upon them. That maybe necessarily wasn't the case. Just being nice to people.
And we've told the story before, but when he met with all the academic counselors at Florida State, maybe every head of every department, or I can't remember exactly who was in the meeting, but it was academic people. And he brought his whole coaching staff with him, and he told them, we want all our players, we're going to listen to you, we're going to talk to you, and we want all our players sitting in the front row, and if they're not, you come talk to us. Not GAs, not student assistants, us. And we're going to make sure we're in there because it matters. And they gave him a standing ovation, which, again, tells you how Willie can affect a room, but also what the other guy wasn't doing. And I just think this all comes back to building a culture. And I think it's true, man. I think Brian Burns said it to us. I think Willie Taggart said it in his press conference that, there wasn't a tough team last year. When there was adversity, when it was tight late in the game, they found ways to lose. They weren't tough. They didn't know each other, and they didn't play for each other.
I don't know if this is like a bridge too far to sell, but you talk about the fact that players embrace structure, order. I remember seeing a quote one time about people don't mind being told what to do as long as the person who's telling them what to do knows what they're talking about.
Right, correct.
So I feel it's one of those things where, and this is just more eye-opening to me, a lot of people, I guess, maybe in the know already knew these things, but it just kind of just further illustrates just how far gone the team was. I mean,
just how far the program was. And when we talk about how good Jimbo had done and he accomplished great things and they can never take that away, I don't know that it doesn't seem like this was something that he could have just rebounded on his own. I think he had just lost control and he could never rein it back in. I just think it had rotted from the inside. I think the program had rotted. That's not to say he can't win at Texas A&M. Maybe he learned. Maybe 2017 and in the end parts of 2016 were eye-opening enough for him to actually do some introspection and to look in the mirror and say, what happened there? What happened there? And he learned, okay, I was too lenient with these guys. I wasn't a stickler. I enabled them too much because they were enabled and entitled. They weren't turds, as Willie Taggart said that I wrote about in the in my column.
So you actually put that in there?
Yeah, it was a quote.
Yeah,
he said Willie Taggart at the press conference said that when he got to Florida State, he was expecting a lot of turds on the team, which probably an unfortunate word to use, but he knocked it out of the park in every other sense. It just wasn't a great word. That is a word that coaches use occasionally, obviously, to describe bad apples. It's it's the 2018 way of describing a bad apple. And so, and he could have said worse words.
He could have.
But what Willie Taggart said was actually there weren't many or any. He's like, they're actually good kids. They want to win. But they didn't know each other. They don't like each other because they don't know each other. They didn't play for each other. They don't care about each other. All that's a part of being a culture. All of it's fostered from the top down. And for whatever reason, the guy at the top in recent years just let it go. Didn't seemingly care about it at all. And he had a bunch of individuals playing last year. I know they're all individuals.
Right.
But you know what I mean.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm saying.
So 3 days ago, you said 51% Francois, 49% James Blackman. Do you walk out of here as the number fluctuated at all? Because it sounds like.
Yeah, I think I'm up to, I'm probably like 60-40, 65-35.
Okay.
The way that Willie was talking about DeAndre, and he was asked a lot about DeAndre, and obviously,
you asked really good questions and got some really good answers out of him, Corey. Well done, man.
Well, that's what I do. That's what I do. I mean, you're sitting next to Michelangelo essentially. I just paint. My questions are like.
Your paintbrush is a laptop.
I was going to say my questions are like carvings, but that's not what he did. What did he do? What are those called? Sculptor. But didn't he sculpt the David?
Yeah, you're right.
Didn't that one know that Michelangelo?
Yes,
so he's a
correct.
sculptor too.
Yeah.
So sculpture is the word I was using, not carving. So you can tell I'm a real artistic guy.
Quarterback play.
But, I do think that the way he talked about DeAndre, and he was asked a lot about him, and he said that, that he has grown up and matured. He's really been pleasantly surprised with how much he's matured. And he talked about DeAndre as a person, which I thought was really interesting. Again, it's so refreshing just to get these kind of answers. And maybe they'll dry up soon. He's in his first year. But he talked about how DeAndre is the type of kid that you have to earn his trust. He doesn't trust you. He automatically starts out not trusting you. For things that have happened in his life and just his personality, he automatically starts a relationship with no trust.
Probably about skeptical by nature.
Just no trust. So you have to earn that trust from him, and sometimes it's hard. And, he said that it was DeAndre's idea to want to move back on campus, which, as we all know from the recent history, is probably a good idea. It's just not probably. It is a good idea. And he just wants him around his teammates because DeAndre in nature is a quiet guy. But he wants his teammates to know DeAndre and be at least friendly with him. And it's not like he was like, it's not like DeAndre was a bad guy with his teammates, or meaning they just didn't know him. And so he wants DeAndre, if he's going to be the quarterback, to know him. And I just thought that was it was enlightening that he talked so much about DeAndre and all the strides he made, almost as if he's prepping for the reality that this guy is probably his best chance at a starting quarterback. I mean, he did answer a question about Blackman when he was asked. He happened to be asked more questions about DeAndre, including the knee being 100%. But the way he talked, it really seemed like, okay, he's talking like somebody that's almost willing it to happen. Willing his quarterback to be the leader and the guy that can be counted on. He's willing that to happen because he seems to know that that's his best chance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, again, that goes to, I guess, adaptability, right? I don't know so much as he wanted DeAndre to kind of turn the corner, but it was kind of prove it to me. And DeAndre's finally giving him reason to believe that, he does want to change or he does want to adapt to what Willie wants out of him, and why not?
Right.
Why not sort of, keep fostering that sort of stuff?
Yeah, because what would be the worst thing is if DeAndre was the same type of kid, quiet, reserved, only kind of thought about himself and not what was going on with the context of the team, still lived off campus and was just completely outplayed Blackman, where he would have like no chance. It's like, golly, I got to start him. I don't want to. I want the kid that I really like, who's a great teammate, who's loud and loves everyone, who's more like me. I want him to start, but 12 is just too good. I have to play him. But now it's like Willie is either talking himself into it or it's actually happening where 12 could be the guy off the field that makes putting him on the field eeasier. Okay. That was well said, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good.
So we've established the fact that Willie's a good dude.
Yeah.
Taking time out.
Man, he's easy to talk to.
Yeah, gives you genuine answers, listens to your questions. We talked about the quarterbacks. I mean, is there anything else that I don't feel like we left anything else really out. I mean, Brian Burns seems focused. He knows what he has to do defensively. Again, you'll hear from him probably like maybe on the Monday show or the Tuesday show. Part of it, we want to stretch things out because it's going to maybe be a little bit slow. Part of it, too, is that I have to go through the audio and pick out the right stuff to put in the show. And we've got a 9-hour drive ahead of us, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to let the Taggart sound rip. I mean, for Cam, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed he didn't go along with me being his Brian Windhorst.
Oh, okay, right,
tough
right.
on that. I floated it out. He just kind of was like, maybe. And I'm like, well, I did not need a maybe right there.
Yeah, you need to be where if he gets drafted by Cleveland,
we're going, buddy.
You need to be going to Cleveland.
I'll be your PR guy when you do camps during the summer. I'll be the guy that runs the camps. I'll get all the stations out there, great publicity.
Right.
He sounds like he's going to mull it over. Well-dressed Cam, though.
He was, yeah.
The one thing that you guys will hear from, I thought, I thought he was going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say broken up over it, but I thought he was going to be a little bit more maybe down on the fact that he lost Jimbo. Not anything against Willie, but I just thought there might have been more of a bond, as what brought him to Florida State. But he's all in on it, too, and he's your number one running back, and that's always a good thing.
Well,
right?
And his goals, just so you know, he's aiming low this year. He wants 1,800 to 2,000 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns, and maybe 200 or 300 more yards receiving.
Yeah.
So, all he's looking to do, guys, not much, not shooting for the moon or anything, just break every school record in Florida State history this season is what he's looking for.
And here's the cool thing. He doesn't even want 28 carries a game. I'm like, because I was asking him, and you'll hear the thing just about when you're an alpha guy like he was in high school, and then you come here as a freshman. But now it sounds like there's going to be a lot more cooks in the kitchen, or at least in the backfield. Like, can you still be the guy you want to be? And he's like, 28, chill out, Aslan. Like, I don't need all that.
Yeah, no, and he won't get 28 carries a game. I mean, he might in a couple of games, but I think he'll average right around 20, 19 or 20. Maybe 21, somewhere in that neighborhood, because he's got good guys behind him, man, and they're all good with the ball. And in fact, another interesting part of the interview with Taggart that we did in the breakout room, not that you and I did, but was somebody asked him just who are some of the guys that haven't played a lot that are going to be big stars that you can't wait to see, that you think are the next big names.
You holding that out until minute 17 of the show?
The very first one was Tamorian Terry. Very first one.
I told you.
Number 2 was LeBourne. And then
LeBourne to be wild. Is that better? Or you're LeBourne
I would
to
like
run?
LeBourne to run, probably.
Killing with LeBourne.
Or LeBourne this way? Isn't that a Lady Gaga song?
This way.
Yeah, that's not bad. We got a lot of things we can do with old Kalen. But yeah, so he mentioned those two.
LeBourne in the USA.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Actually, ironically, that's not a patriotic song, although some people think they do. It is, Aslan, because they don't listen to the lyrics. It's not all that patriotic, folks.
So, Tamorian Terry, you should have put him higher on your top 40.
He said, and we asked Cam about him, and Cam's like, yeah, he's really, really good.
We'll find out.
He's like, you're going to find out, 2018. I just think that, maybe he should be higher. But that was the first guy that Willie's going to get him on the field. Willie, and he said he couldn't believe that he was redshirting. When he's like, he went over to Odell and asked, who's that? And he goes, he's a redshirting receiver. He goes, he's redshirting? Which was probably most of the fan base to Willie. There's a lot of people with you on that one. But, yeah, so, I think the hype might be real for that kid. He's got all the tools. And I just thought it was telling that he was the very first person that Willie Taggart mentioned.
I'm moving my number up. I'm putting the floor on him at 50 catches.
Tamorian Terry?
Yeah.
Oh,
50.
all right.
They're
not going to throw the ball
Keith
that
Gavin
much.
caught 27 passes last year, and I'm going to say 30. So Tamorian Terry's only going to catch 3 more passes than Keith Gavin did last year?
They got DJ and they got Naquan. I think those guys are going to be your 2 leading receivers, catch-wise. So
they're similar knives. You need a machete.
Sure, I know he has a place, but I don't know that you're.
Cleaver? Anybody there that wants to get me a gift for my birthday is coming up. I want a cleaver.
For what?
I don't know.
Just to cleave things?
Just to have a cleaver. They just look very cool.
Is cleave a verb?
Probably.
It's got to be. If there's a cleaver, you have to cleave things with it. I've never used it. I should start using that.
I don't eat ribs. I think a cleaver's good to like cut through bone. Like
you got to cleave. You got to cleave through the ribs.
Cleave through the rib.
We know that.
Bone.
We know that. So we'll see. I don't think FSU's third leading receiver will have 50 catches. That means
Tamorian Terry's going to be. Come on.
As far as catches,
number 1.
I think catches he'll be third. I think he'll be behind Naquan and DJ.
I keep forgetting about. Yeah, I mean Naquan. I can't. I'm too
Don't
much
forget about
recency
Naquan.
bias.
I know he wasn't all that thrilling last year, but he's a good player. If he's healthy, that's a big guy. But I also don't think they're going to throw the ball that much. I think he wants to run more than he throws. So that's why I think the numbers might be down. But he's going to have a big impact this season, I think, Terry.
Decent segue to the last thing I wanted to mention was on the podium in the Grand Ballroom here at the Westin Hotel in Charlotte as part of ACC Kickoff. I'm Aslan. He's Corey. It's Wake Up War Chant.
97.9 ESPN Radio.
Right. But this is just a podcast that won't be on.
Oh, just saying it. I just like to say the call letters, folks.
Thanks for bringing it out, though. Willie said up there.
iTunes.
There you go. Leave a 5-star review if you like the show.
Or even if you don't.
Yeah. he said straight up, I'm not trying to run 100 plays, guys.
Yeah.
That ball, he was like, I'm not trying to go fast just to go fast. I'm not here just to run 100 plays. We're gonna run at a faster tempo than what they're used to around here. But so I don't think there's never that there was a quota, but I think there might have been some sort of belief that, and I'm not saying I'm propagating it, but I think there's a lot of folks that really like, we would compare him maybe to Clemson. Like, no. Clemson doesn't snap the ball with the rapid pace that he does at Oregon. And I don't say he tapped the brakes on that, but I think he kind of maybe gave a little bit more of a, just practical sort of.
I think
approach.
when you're coaching one of these offenses, I think it's almost insulting sometimes that it's almost like you just kind of Mickey Mouse. You just run up tempo. You're going to get points because you run 96 plays. Yeah. I think his point was we're going to get points because we have really good. We're going to make explosive plays. The more plays you run, obviously, the better chance you have one of them getting out the gate, as my man used to say back in the day. So I think that was kind of his point. Is like we don't want, like you said, we don't want 100 plays. We want more. We want explosive plays. So and actually that kind of hurts your play calling. Yeah, but that kind of hurts your play numbers because if you usually maybe you have a 9-play drive. Well, what if Cam busts an 80-yard run on the first play? You have a 1-play drive. That hurts the old play numbers. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we'll complain about it too much if they're winning 42-20, 42-17, though, right?
How about 63-0 every now and again? How about we do that sometimes?
Relax.
How about we do that sometimes?
All right, let's go ahead and let you guys listen into our one, not one-on-one because there's 3 of us. It was
2-on-1.
Yeah, the Wake Up War Chant. Sit down with Coach Willie Taggart, your head football coach, who sat down and talked with him. We'll go ahead and let it rip. On behalf of myself, have a great weekend, though, before we leave. And, Corey, do you want to add anything before we let Willie talk?
I mean, just, guys, remember that obviously you want to have a safe weekend. We obviously understand that. And there needs to be love spread throughout this country. Aslan, you're nodding your head. You certainly agree with that. Just spread the love and be good people. Don't hate. Don't criticize. Well, you can criticize, but don't hate. But, be good people. Love each other. Love yourselves, more importantly. And, enjoy this show because pretty soon it's going to be national and you're going to have to pay a lot of money for it. But for now, obviously, you get it for free. So please enjoy it. And also subscribe to War Chant. If you love us, that's exactly what you'll do. Because we love you. Do I speak for you, Aslan?
You do.
All right, here we go. Willie Taggart. Let's do it.
Your first ACC kickoff, is it everything you dreamed it would be, Coach?
It's kind of like all the rest of them. You go and you talk to the media. You got to answer the same questions you've been answering all year long. You just try to answer it a little differently. But it's been good. It's been nice. I'm excited. It's that time of year where there's a lot of excitement. It's kind of like Christmas in July. Everyone is excited. This entire country changes when football season starts. It's amazing how it happens.
That's true. You have a very busy schedule. We do really appreciate you sitting down and joining with us, Coach. Thank you very much.
So who's your quarterback going to be?
I might suit up.
Oh, good.
No.
Have you ever had you've been coaching for a while, and obviously you played quarterback. Have you ever had a competition or seen one where it was 2 guys that had started a whole season competing against each other? It's kind of unique, right?
It is. It is, and it's the first time for me, and I'm excited about it, because I know we can't go wrong with either guy that you pick, and everyone's talking about Bailey. Talking about James and DeAndre, but Bailey's in that race as well,
right.
And I'm excited that we have guys that's able to compete for the starting job, and knowing that if something go down, you don't have to lose sleep at night, But I'm just like the rest of you. I'm ready to see who separate themselves, and we're going to allow these guys to compete, and that's what it's going to take is for one or the other to separate themselves,
right.
And they're going to have the opportunity to do it, and it's on them to do it.
Yeah.
Is it ultimately always a hard decision, or does it usually one guy just end up making it an easy decision for you when it comes like this?
Well, it's always been hard for me because I hadn't been in this situation before. Now that I'm in this situation, I don't think it's going to be hard. They know what it's going to take. It's on us to give them the opportunity, then it's on them to take advantage of that opportunity to do the things that we need them to do to be the quarterback. So I'm going to sit back and wait to see which guys separate themselves, knowing that when we do have that guy, we're going to have the right one.
Could James have done anything in spring that would have made you think, all right, I think this is pretty much done? Or would it not have been fair to DeAndre to have gone with that sort of approach?
I don't think it would have been fair to anyone, to just do that. James did a good job, and he's got so much better. And, if you look at it, he's probably got a leg up because of all the reps, But to be fair, and we're going to always be fair and do what's right for Florida State, is to allow them all to compete. And DeAndre got a couple reps to show us that he can do some things. He wasn't able to run around like changing those guys, but he was able to throw the football. And so this training camp will be big because they all can do all those things, And again, to see who's going to run the offense and be more efficient, take care of the football, and then who's going to be that guy that the entire football team rally behind, I think we all know when Florida State has that, great things happen for a football program. We need that from that position.
Were you ever in a QB competition as a player? When you were a freshman at Western Kentucky, I assume?
No, actually I was when I shouldn't call it a competition. Well,
you Tommy Frazier?
No, I wouldn't. Tommy was the guy, and
right.
I was a young pup, but I did start one game that year and did a good job.
1-0?
Yeah. And really I haven't. I know Coach Pimpleton, who was on our staff, he came in as a quarterback when I was at Western. And
oh, really?
Everyone said Coach Pimpleton was going to be that guy, and I made sure that didn't happen, but that's how you want it. You want it highly competitive, because it's going to bring the best out of a guy. More importantly, it's going to, if a guy really wants to be the quarterback, he's going to train the way he needs to in order to be the quarterback. And I think all those little things are going to make a difference when it comes to our quarterback position. Who trains the best, who's with Coach Bell all the time, who's with his teammates, who's doing all those little things. Because to me, that's what's going to separate those guys and ultimately get us all what we want.
Right.
So it's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited, just like I'm excited, and I'm interested just like everyone else on who it's going to be. But I know whoever we decide is going to be our quarterback is going to be a guy that can get the job done for us.
When it comes to the team building that you talked about in there, about wanting the players to know each other, not everybody to know each other, know about what their teammates come from. As the hotshot quarterback at Western Kentucky, did you hang out with the second string strong safety? Did you know everybody on your team?
I hung out with everybody. The kickers,
right.
The punter, they were the coolest guys.
Why is that so important to you?
Because you're the guy on the team. You're the face of the team, and really you're the head coach. Other than the head coach, that's when we win, everybody's going to praise the head coach and the quarterback. When we lose, they're going to talk about the head coach and the quarterback, and it's so important that you get to be around all your teammates, the guys that you go out there and train with every single day. And you think about it, all these kids come from different background, but they're doing the same thing. It's only right that you look out for each other and have each other's back to help see it through. And but that was really important to me, just especially being away from home and not knowing anyone, that I get to know people. And when I got to know the teammates better, I wanted to do everything to keep them excited and happy and make sure I didn't let them down.
You really hung out with the kickers?
Oh, absolutely. I hung out with everybody.
Aren't kickers weird? Kickers are pretty weird, though, right?
They seem like they were. They're the best. Kickers have all the girls.
No, stop.
No, actually, O-line have all the girls.
Oh, that's even crazier.
Yeah, it is. Seriously.
The starting quarterback probably.
He'll have the girl.
Coach, on the offensive line sort of part of things, I feel like we've talked about so many times. We feel really good about the interior. I don't know if you do, Alec Eberle, Minshew, as well as Landon Dickerson. Derek Kelly's probably going to give you something somewhere on there. Like that fifth spot, does that keep you up at night, just worrying about who's going to be that last guy to fill it in?
No, it don't. Because I think once before the season starts, we're going to know exactly what we have. And I think the reason why I don't lose any sleep, because a lot of those guys got a lot of reps this spring, and I think that's helped us. That's going to help us tremendously as we go into the spring of having some depth at that position. And a lot of those guys got a lot of reps because we didn't have a lot of players in the spring, and I think guys got better by that. And now getting some guys back is only going to help the situation. And again, when it comes to season time, everybody wants to play. And I think motivation and determination will play a big factor on who's going to be those guys. And if we got the right guys that's highly motivated and want to play and competitive, they'll find a way, just like the quarterback position, to be the guy. But it's going to be competitive there as well.
Will your offense look any different if it's DeAndre? Will it look any different if it's James?
No, or Bailey?
No, it won't. It's funny. I hear people talk about our offense. Oh, we need a running quarterback.
Yeah, can you talk about that?
You don't need. I mean, it doesn't matter. You need a smart, tough, highly competitive competitive guy back there that throws the ball to our team and not the other team. That's the guy that we need back there. It doesn't matter whether you can run or you just a passer. We can, with our offense, we can adjust to whatever your style is. I think it helps when you can get a couple first down with your feet, but you don't have to be a Quentin Flowers because everyone thinks that what we need. Again, we played to the guy that we had. That was Quentin's strength, and we played to his strength. And you go to Oregon, that wasn't Justin Herbert's strength. We didn't play to his strength. And you look at Oregon, our offense was a lot more efficient than it was at South Florida. So it doesn't matter necessarily from a pro style or a dual threat. Again, you got to get the right guy.
All black unis Labor Day?
That's what the players keep asking me about all black unis. I think we got it all planned out for the entire year what we're going to wear, and we'll let you guys know.
All right, I got the one last question.
Uh-oh.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Bad Boys 2.
Not the original.
Not the original, 2.
All right.
That was the best. I'll watch it every day over and over and over.
You must have been in college when that came out, right?
I think I was out of college then.
All right.
When did it come out?
I mean, I think mid-90s.
Bad Boys 2?
No, that was
the original one. The original one came out again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it probably came out late night. Okay, all right.
That's
all
classic.
Right. Classic.
That's
Sure, man. Sure.
Coach, you're all about going fast. I got like 5 quick questions I'm going to rattle off to you. I just need you to go.
Speed round.
Okay.
Lightning round.
All right, a group of guys were to snatch a purse away from your wife. Who's the one guy on your coaching staff you'd want to go get it back from? Help you out with it.
The one guy on my coaching staff?
The enforcer. All right, you can skip
Sorry,
that one.
you can say that.
Who's most likely to become president in that entire locker room? Or senator? Coach, you got to go up tempo, no huddle.
Jaden would be.
Okay. Who's got the messiest locker?
Nobody.
LeBron or MJ?
LeBron.
What's the strongest stuff you had when you were in college? What was the one thing you could kill it at? Were you like the push-up master, pull-ups, bench press, clean guy? Who were you?
Bench press.
All right. There we go.
All right.
Hey, Coach, can I tell you to have a great day if you want to?
Absolutely.
That's the head football coach of the Florida State Seminoles, Willie
Go
Taggart.
Noles.
Thanks so much for joining us.